Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So explosive details have emerged of Victoria's handling of the coronavirus crisis and the quarantine of return travellers. Channel 9's Today Show revealed that there were major failures in the handling of return travellers by privately contracted security guards working in quarantine hotels in Melbourne. In an anonymous interview with one of these security guards who worked at one of these quarantine hotels, he said that guards received 5 minutes of training, were handed personal protective equipment and sent to their levels.
5 minutes, yeah. And that was the PPE and everything, box of dice, and then you were sent up to your level.
A former security guard also detailed that these private contracted security companies have used the pandemic for profit over the safety of the public.
The companies are made this pandemic into a profit-making scheme.
With the anonymous source flat out saying to the host,
"It's a money-making exercise, I guess, Christine."
He detailed that the number of security guards was reduced to 1 per level from the previous 3.
How many security guards per level?
At the moment, 1.
How many were there?
3.
When was the change?
Approximately a week ago.
Is that because you had less travellers in that hotel?
Not at all.
The other former security guard further stated that contracted guards were sent to multiple quarantine hotels, meaning that any guards potentially infected with the virus would have caused further spreading to the community.
Wherever the main company asks them to go, they go.
Even further damning allegations have been made that state some guards were sleeping with guests. Now compare these details in Melbourne to Sydney's handling of these return travellers, and we see why New South Wales, who according to the ABC, has taken in over 25,000 return quarantine travellers, with none of the reports of wider community transmissions we have seen in Melbourne. The reason for this, as we have just seen, is that Melbourne was using private security contractors who had very little to no health and safety training, along with infection control.
Security guards with no experience are working in hotel quarantine.
Yes.
He also said that they were ill-equipped to carry out their job to the health and safety standards.
This is your mask for the whole day. This is one glove for you for the whole day.
Whereas Sydney's overseeing of return travellers was initially managed by the Australian Border Force, along with New South Wales Health. New South Wales Health were ultimately inefficient, leading to the transferal of operations to New South Wales Police, who have a better understanding of operational structure and enforcing procedures, in conjunction with New South Wales Health. Since New South Wales Police have been in charge, people have not been allowed to leave their rooms unless they tested negative for the virus. Whereas in Melbourne, quarantine travellers were allowed to leave their designated quarantine rooms to go to other rooms and interact with other quarantine guests. That defeats the whole purpose of a quarantine. Return travellers in New South Wales were also kept to a strict infraction control procedure, meaning they had limited interaction and time speaking with other people, and also protective equipment such as masks had to be worn when they were interacting with other people. Finally, with the testing, the incubation period is 14 days, but we have been seeing a number of cases where people are testing positive on day 13, meaning when people in Victoria who had refused testing ended their quarantine period, they potentially walked out of quarantine as an undocumented positive case. This then allowed the virus to spread undetected in the community, leading to the increased cases we are currently seeing, and the subsequent second lockdown that suburbs have had to be placed under. However, testing in Sydney was done on day 13 of the incubation period to make sure that people who were nearly out of quarantine were in fact negative and able to return safely to the community. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews has since announced, "Clearly there has been a failure in the operation of this program. Future hotel quarantine guests in Melbourne will now be under the supervision of Corrections Victoria." Thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, share this one around, leave a comment, and I'll see you soon.